There's the hard thing to do, there's the easy thing to do. We get to choose what we do. Haha. And here's a great question. Do you wish for it to be easy, or do you wish for it to be hard so that you can get stronger and tougher and harder? And one of the very cool things about coming into this room, this is our home exercise area, but the walls are covered with people who have done it the hard way. And it's a really interesting observation when you study excellence and you study people who've really done some significant things with their sport, with their business, with their art, with their skill, with their talent. One of the things that they seem to have in common is they had to do it tough. It seems that there are very few people in the world where they've had an easy life, but they've ended up doing something amazing with their life. And I don't wish for anything to be hard, and I don't wish for anything to be tough, and I don't wish for people to do it the tough way. But maybe I do. Because every single person I know and every single person that I've studied that has done something of significance has had to do it hard. Is it possible that it's the discipline, commitment, focus, and the bloody hard work that makes us achieve? Versus if we're given something, if it's easy, if there's not a challenge, how do we get tougher and stronger? Muscles and bones don't get tougher and stronger without overload. Heart and lungs don't get fitter without overload. Your brain doesn't get wiser, smarter, tougher. You don't become more mentally tough if you do it easy. If you don't put your brain under pressure, if you don't overload those neurotransmitters to make them work hard, you don't get smarter. One of the really interesting things about neuroplasticity and neurogenesis is that all happens when the change in our brain happens because we force our brain to change. And that doesn't come from doing the same thing over and over. It comes from overcoming challenges. It comes from doing the tough stuff. And here's a great question. If you have an opportunity to take on a challenge, a problem, a tough situation, do you leave it for somebody else, or is that something you put your hand up for? If there's a solution to be found, are you the person that wants to brainstorm and find the solution, or is it all too hard? And that's just a personal question, because there are a lot of people that share with me most days, and I'm sure they share with you too, that they're not achieving the things they want to achieve. Their life is not the way they want it to be. They're not as healthy and fit and strong as they want to be. They don't have a career or business that they love, or they hate their job. They're broke, or they're not even on track to being financially free. Money is a challenge, and they have some horrible people in their life. Their relationships are not working, or it might be a combination of those or all of those. And do people share that with you? They certainly do with me, and of course that's why I'm here every day, because the Romax headspace every day is, how can I be healthy, fit and strong? How can I have a career or business that I love? How can I be financially free, and how can I have great people in my life, great relationships, great relationship with myself? And do any of those things come easily? The first bit, get fit, you've got to get puffed. You don't get fit by going for an easy walk. You don't get strong by lifting light weights. You've got to overload your muscles and bones, and you've got to get puffed. So to get those two major benefits of being fit and strong, it's not easy, it's hard. If you want to have a career or business that you love, now it's interesting because when I use the word hard here, most people think it's hard to have a business. Most people think it's hard to be wealthy, financially free, because you've got a career that you love and you're really good at it. But the interesting part of that headspace is, if you're doing something that you're passionate about, is it possible that you love the hard work? When you have a look at some of the athletes in this room, they will all share passionately, and they certainly have in every podcast or book I've read or interview I've seen them in. They love the hard work. The athletes that I really admire and respect are the ones that, yes, they go to training with the team and do the team training, and yes, they do the training that the coach tells them they have to do, but they do their own training in their own time because they want to get tougher and stronger and fitter and be the best at what they do, and they love the hard work. So there's a great question. Is it really hard, or does it feel hard because we haven't made the right choices? If you are doing your health and fitness, your exercise, you're getting fit and strong, if that feels hard, Is that because you've got the wrong headspace? Is that because I've got to burn calories, lose weight, fit into my clothes, can't have, mustn't have, shouldn't have, don't have, versus I want to do it hard, I want to get puffed, I want to lift heavy because I want to be fit and strong. I love the training and the education for my career path, for my business. Other people think it's hard, but I love it because it's giving me the satisfaction of getting better and better at what I do. These are great questions to ask ourselves, I think. Do we need to ask our kids those questions? Because if we're telling our kids it's hard to be fit and strong, it's hard to have a career or business that you love, it's hard to be financially free, it's hard. Here's the one with relationships I always find fascinating. Compromise and sacrifice. Great relationships come with compromise and sacrifice. Well, if you're aiming to inspire people to have great relationships and you talk about you have to compromise and you have to sacrifice, that does sound really hard to me. But if I'm in a relationship where I want to make my partner, I want them to be happy, I want them to have a great life, I want to add value to their life, why would that be hard? To me, that's just two great people investing time together. If I wrap all of that up into a simple process, the decisions that we make, the things that we do, if we're passionate about it, if we want to do it, if it's important to us, surely it's then not hard. And even if it is hard, because we have to get puffed or lift heavy or do some training or education or learn some stuff, surely that's because we want to, not because it's hard. I use financial freedom as an example. A lot of people share with me it's hard to be wealthy, it's hard to be rich, it's hard to save money. But what's the alternative? The alternative is being broke and struggling. Well, the simple process to becoming wealthy, to being financially free, is they're really simple, is to spend less than you earn, invest wisely, work hard so that you earn a lot of money so that you can then invest wisely. But the hard work though, and I'll use another example, if you do something easy, where's the satisfaction? If somebody does something for you or gives you something, where's the satisfaction? I've had some beautiful things in my life that I've had to work really hard for, and I really appreciate them. I've lived in a caravan, I've lived in a tent, I've lived in some horrible places. And that's the reason I worked really hard, so that I could have a beautiful home to live in. I could stay in beautiful places. I've had some really terrible cars, some horrible transport experiences, travel experiences on buses and trains, which is why I worked my ass off all of my life so that I could have beautiful travel arrangements. And it was never about, oh, it's so hard. It was, I want to work hard because I want to get the outcome. So there's my question. What do you want your life to look like? How do you want to live your life? Do you want to do it easy and have things given to you where there's no stress or pressure, but then there's no satisfaction? One of the interesting things that I had to learn the hard way. I wanted, with my financial success, with my life experience, with my learning experiences that gave me some great financial success, I wanted to share that with other people. So I gave people a lot of stuff. I gave them cars, I gave them holidays, beautiful clothes, watches, handbags. I wanted to give the people in my life an experience to say, this is what happens if you work hard. Well, what happened in that situation is that when those people got those gifts and they hadn't worked hard to receive them, there was no appreciation of them. There's something really special about owning a beautiful car because you worked bloody hard for it. There's something very special about a nice watch or a nice handbag or a beautiful pair of shoes because you worked your ass off to get it, versus somebody gave it to you and it has no value, it has no meaning. These are just some things to consider, because it seems that hard work is going out of style, going out of fashion. It seems that training hard, educating yourself, working hard has become something that people just don't want to do anymore. It's all too hard. Well, is it possible that the hard work pays off and then you get to appreciate beautiful things? And that's one of the things that in my life every single day, I am so grateful and so thankful for everything that I have worked hard for, because I've worked so hard for it. I know what it's like to live in a caravan in a tent. I know what it's like to, there was a time in my life where I was choosing between food and petrol. There was a time in my life where I had to take a calculator to the supermarket because I didn't have enough money and I didn't want to be embarrassed and have to put something back. I don't want to live my life like that. And I think all those hard experiences turned me into a person who wanted to work hard so that I appreciate what hard does for you. And I'll share that again. I have massive respect for the elite athletes and the business people and the artists and the people who work really hard to get what they want. They put in the effort and they get rewarded because of their hard work. And I'll ask again, is it possible that maybe it doesn't even feel that hard? Because when you've achieved, when you're holding the gold medal, when you've bought the beautiful home, when you've got the gorgeous experiences to have in your life, maybe you look back over that and every single experience was worth it and it doesn't feel hard. But if you're doing something that you're passionate about and you're excited about doing it, maybe the actual training doesn't even feel hard. The education doesn't feel hard. The hard work doesn't even feel hard. People share that with me all the time. Rowie, you work so hard. Well, for me, it's just my life and I love it. It's not about 7 days a week of working, because I don't feel like I'm working. I feel like I'm living my passion. And that's what I would love for you. For me, living life to the max is doing what you love every day, doing the hard work and appreciating how you feel at the end of the day when you put in a hard effort. So may you want to work hard. May you want to become a hard, tough, strong, mentally healthy person who wants to put in the effort to have a life where you can live your life to the max. Thank you for coming to Romax. My name's Rowie, and I would love for you to be healthy, fit and strong, have a career or business that you love, be financially free and have great people in your life. And is it possible that the hard effort that we put in to do all of those things could really be worth it? Super duper doo, how are you? I hope you are working bloody hard. Woo!